Judges and viewers, we are the team FASTENators from RCS Norwich 2016. Sorry for the little glitch there. So our sponsor for this year was Tilsonburg, the Township of Tilsonburg, and we didn't have a mentor. Now meet the members of our team: Mark, Hendrik, Jarno, Kenneth, Jeremy, and Matthew. Now Mark Van Lagen is a grade 10 student here at RCS, and he was one of the builders for this robot. Next is Hendrik Schulten. He was the video maker and also another one of the builders for this robot, and is in grade 9. Jarno Slek was one of the builders for this robot also, and is also in grade 9. Next is Jeremy Koplar. He was the programmer for this robot and is also in grade 9. And that last is Matthew DeBee. He was a builder for this robot and is in grade 9. Kenneth LaCroix was absent for the pictures, but he was he's in grade 9 and he was also one of the builders. Now we have the LEGO Mindstorms Education EV3 kit, the core set and expansion set. Our challenge for this year was putting a nut and washer onto a bolt 5 times. So we had multiple ideas. So our first idea was the track and chutes idea. So basically we had a track below 2 chutes and a bar, and the track would have little trays which the bolts could sit on, and when the track would turn, it would go onto under the washer chute. The washer would drop onto there, then it would turn again, go under the nut chute, and the nut would somehow fall and turn onto it, and then it would go to the end, and that bar would push the finished product into a box or something. But this idea wasn't finished. We never finished it because it didn't seem as good one, and there was a lot of bugs and we didn't have a solution for a lot of stuff that was wrong with it, so we scrapped this idea. But this was our first idea, and we all thought it was a good idea, but it really sucked when we had to scrap it because we thought it was the solution, but obviously it wasn't. So the next idea was the Ferris wheel idea. Basically we had a Ferris wheel frame, and it would have carriages built onto it which could hold the bolts. Now as the Ferris wheel would turn around, that would go into a chute with nuts and washers, pick up the washers and the nuts, and somehow the nuts would turn onto the bolt, and then it would, on the left side, the carriage would hit a bar and the finished product would roll into a box. This idea didn't really work because we didn't have a solution for how to put the nuts on to turn them onto the bolt, and round connectors don't really stay stable when they're connected with the supports, so it didn't stay stable, and that wasn't good. So everyone in the team really liked this idea because it had the Ferris wheel idea into it. But yeah. So the next idea was the no name idea. So there's no name for it that we had. Basically it had a track on top of stilts with a tray beside it, and the track would be attached to a pusher which would push the bolts onto the motor on the left, as you can see, and the motor would turn the right way so the nuts and the washers could fall into it, and then the bolt would be pushed onto the motor, and then the motor would turn. The only problem was with it is that the bolts wouldn't stay straight when they were pushed, and the nuts and washers didn't really fall in right, and to kick it out when it was done, it didn't really work. Although it was a really good idea, it just didn't work. So then we tried putting a wheel there to kick it out when it was done and stabilize it, but it still didn't work, and we also had to scrap this idea. So by this time we were running really out of time, so we really had to get going. Then we came up with the final solution. This idea basically evolved around the Canadarm on the International Space Station. So we used that idea, and also the basic arm of an excavator. So we had a motor to pivot the base of the arm, as you can see on our robot picture right here, and we would have the next motor to pivot the top arm, and one more motor to turn the bolt holder. Now besides that, we would have a chute with nuts on the bottom and washers on the top. They would slide into there, and that would be all perfect. And then the arm would pick up a bolt from a separate place, drop it into there, turn it, get the finished product out of there, and turn around and put it in a box. So we are currently working on this idea. We do not have a program script for it, and we do not have a final operation video for it. So sorry about that, but we really want to get this thing done before the competition, and you guys can see it all in operation at the competition on November 22 at the Guff Hall. So now we thank Oxford Invitational Youth Robotics Challenge for giving us this awesome challenge, and we thank you all for watching.